Yeah, look at this. I am live. Let me double check. Where's my phone? Where's my phone? Oops. Oh, it tells me about that. Okay, yes, I know. All right. So, where am I going to go? Let me check X. Where am I? Anywhere around here? I'd be honest, I swear to God, even though I pay for the blue check mark on X, I really think that.
Again, that so much
Whoops.
of the
I really believe that I'm shadow banned on X. Probably because I'm a bit of an asshole. Let me double check in Discord and see if anything happened in Discord. Oh, look at this. Stop. Okay. All right. So it does say that I'm here. Oh my God. I got 5 people in here already. Jesus Christ. Budvugger says you're shadow banned on OnlyFans. Maybe. I don't know. All right. Hey, there's Duchess. Look, hello, Duchess. All right. So here's what happened. I woke up this morning and I always 10:30. A friend of mine, Dave Jackson, it's kind of like my podcast mentor. He went live, as he does. The name of the show is the Podcast Answer Man. And whenever I listen to him, I get ideas. And one of my ideas was I have a shit ton of equipment here, like a ton. I have an old Mac Mini 2012, the very first Mac Mini I ever bought when I started podcasting in 2012. I still have that. I have an iMac 27-inch that I think I bought in 2018 that I think has issues that I've never done anything with. And then plus I have my other Mac Mini that I use on the other studio. So this is across the basement. And I figured what I was going to do is just make this plug and play thing so I can plug in different equipment. Right now, I spent 3 hours with the 2012 Mac Mini trying to set it up to see if I could stream from here. The answer to that question is no. I can't even get the software to update where it'll work with Chrome. That's how old it is. So what do I do with it now? Do I just throw it out? What do you do with something like that? So I went to YouTube. I went to the YouTubes and I looked and I said, what to do with a 2012 Mac Mini? And then you get a bunch of nerds that pop up and say, well, what you could do is you could take the hard drive out and update it to a solid state drive and then add RAM to it. And I'm like, okay, all right, so fine. How much does that cost? It's like $250 for a hard drive and RAM. I'm like, well, if I'm going to do that, I'll just take that $250 and buy for $500. You can buy a basic Mac Mini with a M4 chip. Why would I even do that? So I took that out, ripped that out. Then I bought a while back. I found it was on Facebook Marketplace. Someone was selling a Mac Air notebook. That's whatchamacallit. Not a desktop, laptop for $500. It was brand new. So I was like, for $500, fine. So I went over and I bought that, and that's what I'm using right now. Also, I updated the other Rodecaster Pro that I had that wouldn't record. They had a new firmware update. I updated that. Guess what? It records now. Then you have to send it back. Imagine that. Now, the reason I say that is it works right now. Tomorrow it might not. We'll see. So I have that, and I also have the iPad in front of me. Here's the issue now. I'm spoiled because there's just one monitor here, and it's a small one. So I can't have like something over here. My other I'm looking into one monitor. I'm like, oh, okay, I'll bring up something. I'll bring up Chrome and look into Chrome. I can't because it just covers the whole screen, and if I make it too small, it's so. But I like the idea and see, like behind me now, there's a little shelf here. There's, I could put little tchotchkes back there, like most podcasters do. What are those little things with the big heads and the little tiny bodies that the guys collect now that you should collect when you're a teenager? I forget what the name of them. Some kind of stupid thing. Funko. I could get some Funko things. Oh, you know what I could do? I could get my John Domingo bobblehead and put it there behind it. Maybe put a little lighting back in there. Boomer Charades, yeah. That's right, Duchess. Boomer Charades. So I don't know if I told this. Fatco Pops. That's me. Right. So I don't know if I told anybody this, but when you buy software or whatever, it's always a monthly charge, or you can get 2 months off if you buy a yearly charge. So I did that with StreamYard, and I didn't realize this, but the other day it renewed, and it renewed for $844. $844, not Canadian, American dollars. So I was like, fuck. So then I sent him a message and like, hey, dude, I don't want this anymore. Is there any way I can send this back? Can I get my money back? And they hemmed and they hawed and they said, well, we could turn it down and maybe get like 200 hours back. And I was like, holy shit. So anyhow, it looks like we're using StreamYard for the rest of the year because I can't get my money back. And secondly, now that I'm using Ecamm Live here, that re-ups in February, like the 25th of February. That's $300 some. And as I was trying to figure out why all of a sudden my bank account was almost $900 lighter, I noticed that Restream had just renewed for $190. I'm like, Restream? I haven't used Restream in 2 years. I've been paying for it all this time. So I'm a dummy. I get it. So what I did on Friday, I went in and I said, that's it. I'm going in and I'm looking for everything that I use, that I pay for. I'm really going to take a hard look at it and see whether I need it anymore. Because there's a lot of stuff that I use that duplicates. Like I use this thing, Descript. Descript takes your video and then you can use it for pulling clips. Well, on StreamYard takes your video when you're done, transcribes it, and you can go in there and pull clips. So I'm like, why do I need 2 of these? The script's gone. Then I went to look at 11 Labs. That's where I get the Duchess, AI Duchess voice and the AI Devin voice and all my AI voices. And I had increased it to $22 a month because Mike and I were using it all the time. Well, we haven't been using it. And the nice thing about 11 Labs is it builds. Like, you get so many characters a month. I'll say 50,000. Well, since we have been using, I think I got like 500,000 characters that I can use to make other voices. So I'm like, okay, let's back that one down for $5 because I can see that maybe there's some value in that. All right, so I got rid of, so I did that. And by the time I got done, I think I canceled $150 a month, not a year, a month of services that I barely use or don't use that much. Bob says, you're spending money like Kamala Harris. No, I have the money. I'm not spending money. Not spending the money that I don't have, that I have to go try to raise now to pay or fuck over all the people that to be honest with you, she should hire like a couple people to go over and beat Beyonce with a bet. Just kidding. It's a joke. She paid her $10 million to come out and announce her. $10 million. That's crazy. Duchess, ask him for a paycheck. Yeah, sorry, I was a little late here. I don't have money to pay. I don't have money to pay my co-hosts. Sorry about that. I pay them in love and labor. That's all I can tell you. So anyhow, I figured that I do want to make a podcast. I guess it's like if you're going to do backyard podcasting, you got to have like a place where you're going to tear shit apart and put things together and try different technologies. Because over here, this way, over here, is a room that's full of mixers and all kinds of audio stuff. So this week coming up, we're going to pull, I'm going to get my son, we're going to pull all that shit out of there, everything out of that back room, and it's all going to go for a fire sale. I got one mixer I paid $700 for. It's a Mackie mixer. I'll sell that for $250. I got another, I've got different things that go with those. I have a audio interface from Focusrite that has 8 inputs and outputs in it. That's ridiculous. That thing, I forget how much that costs, but just sitting there in a box. All brand, like whenever I buy everything I buy an iPad, I buy a MacBook, I buy anything, I keep all the original boxes. So when that's ready to get, when I'm ready to put it away or I'm not going to use it anymore, pack everything right back in the original box. All the original cellophane, all that stuff. I have it all. So it's all packed up back there. What else do I have? My Rodecaster Pro 1. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just sitting here, I bought a travel case because Deuce and I were going to start taking this thing out and going to different bars and stuff to record the Brand X podcast. Sitting in a travel case, nothing wrong with it. It works fantastic. So now this microphone right here, this Old Reliable, is an AR. It's a Audio Technica ATR 2100. It's $50. I got the one I use normally is $21. It's $250. This thing doesn't sound any different. So I figure everybody's in here. I might have to sit down on that auction. Jody, just, you know what? I'll pull things out. We can FaceTime or, I can do something where I can show you what I have and I'll send it to you. Now everybody's fighting over the Rodecaster Pro 1. Jody, I don't want to hear it from you, Jody. I offered you that Rodecaster Pro 1 a year ago for free. I said, I'll give it to you. And you said, nah, I think I want to use this piece of shit that I've had since 2012. The thing that buzzes like an electrical transformer. Yeah, that's the one. That's what I'll use. I'll keep. Why would you feel bad for taking it? But now, see, I got to put Duchess up front. Duchess is supposed to come here sometime in December. We're going to do a live show right from here. And when that happens, I'm just going to say, okay, here's everything. Here, take this. Here, use this cable. Here, take this. Put this in here. Here's a laptop. But I'm going to test everything. I got another laptop that I bought. It's a Dell laptop. I paid $250 for. That's the next thing that's coming over here. I'm going to hook that up into here, put the Rodecaster Pro 1 in there, and see what happens. Because the one thing that drives me crazy is when we use either StreamYard or we use Ecamm Live, we have an echo. And it's, I know this sounds crazy, but it is on Duchess's end. Because I've isolated. I know where it's coming from. Now, when I was listening to my friend Dave today, when they were talking podcasting, he also has a guy who's also his co-host there, Jim Culligan. Jim Culligan has the Average Guy TV, and he works for somebody. He does podcasting for a living, but he does I don't know how to explain it. He works for Gallup. So they have some kind of podcasting thing. I don't even know what they do, but they have places all over, and that's where he works. And he said something today, and I was like, oh, ow, oh man, that hurt deep. That really got in deep. He said, if you have rotten audio or you have bad audio, it's your fault. I was like, fuck, he's right. It is. It's my fault. It's my fault because I didn't fix it. I should be able to fix this. So after that, I was like, that's it. I'm putting a podcast playhouse downstairs where I can move in different computers and different mixers and stuff. And to be honest with you, that I might get rid of one of these Rodecaster Pro 2s. I might put that on a chopping block because I really, if I'm going to do something over there where the other podcast area is with my 3 monitors and everything, all my good stuff, all I need is a Duo, a Rodecaster Duo. I don't need a 4 mic setup. I can use a 4 mic setup over here for when Deuce comes down or when Duchess shows up. So there we go. Look, Jody says, my buzz is getting worse. Yeah, I get it. Bob says, you guys got to play rock, paper, titties for the Rodecaster. Anyhow, so that's what I did today. So I came down here and I played around with that Mac Mini. I wasted 3 hours trying to get that Mac Mini working. Tried updating it and everything else. And then when I saw how much it would take to update it, the amount of money it would cost to update it, I was like, I'll just take this thing and throw it right in the trash. It doesn't work. I mean, I can't use it for anything. It's basically a paperweight. Take a blue pill. I don't get the blue pill thing. Maybe that's something that I need. Jody, I got to tell you right now, that instead of getting a Duo, Mackie has a thing right now. They're selling it. I'm trying to think where they're selling it, but it's like $200 cheaper than the Duo. They're made by Rode bought Mackie. I think Mackie mixers are the better mixer anyhow. I've had a Mackie mixer since 2014. I bought my first Mackie mixer. I've got two Mackie mixers back there. And they're excellent quality. So I don't know what Rode's going to do, but they have this Mackie. It's like the Duo, but it's smaller and it's cheaper. It's only I think the Duo's $500. This thing's on sale right now for $350. Jody, I got a Mackie mixer back there that I haven't used. I have your address. I'll copy it down and I'll send the goddamn thing to you. You can have it. So, again, if I sell it, let's say I sell it to somebody, what would I get? $150 for it or something like that? I'll just send the goddamn thing to you. It's not the big. I get a Christmas card? Will I get a Christmas card? Well, that's great. I like that. Bob says he likes the Duo. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with the Duo, but like right now, the other one is cheaper. And probably because it's cheaper, it's probably going to discontinuing it. Probably. I don't know, because it was bought by Rode. And the Duo is all you need if you're just going to live stream and have people on from the internet, like what I'm going to do here. Also, does everything have to be live streamed? Like when we do Brand X. I'm not telling anybody when we do Brand X. You're just going to come down here. We're going to mix up some old fashions. We're going to have something to eat. We're just going to sit in here and shoot the shit. And then when I get done, process the audio and put the podcast out when I put it out. It's just going to pop up in your feed. So, hold on. What's he say? Did you tell them that I'm the first guest on? Oh, yes. You're the first guest on the Backyard Podcasting. Right. I'm going to start that up in January. Now, just so you know, one of the things I want to look into is starting an Amazon store where I can say, hey, if you're going to buy this, here it is, go to my store, and then you can buy it from Amazon. They'll send it to you. And I think I get a little something on the back end, just something to help. Because after I sat down and figured out what I pay a month for podcasting, and then when I was on Edward was on the show, and then I went and checked out Edward's show, and he has a thing where it's just buy him a cup of coffee. So you can donate $2 or $5 or $10 or something like that, and there's people are sending him money for his show. So I don't have a goal or anything, but if people find value in the show and they're entertained by it and they want to kick $5 a month in, and I get 10 people, let me do the math. That's $50. that helps. That helps with some stuff. So I know Duchess bought Edward 5 coffees. She put in a 10 spot. She didn't just buy him a $2 coffee. She bought him like a macchiato, some kind of foofy whipped cream drink, $10 coffee. That's what she bought Edward. I know. I saw Duchess's, because when I went on there, I was like, how the hell, what's this buy coffee thing? And I clicked on there and it tells you who's buying them coffee. I'm like, oh, Duchess is buying them coffee. And so, but the one thing that, and I've been doing this since November, I've been driving Duchess crazy, is I always take November and December and try to figure out what I'm going to do the next year with the podcasts. So I've been driving her crazy with, we want to do this. Should we do that? Should we take this? Should we move that? Should we, what should we do? Should we go with just less people, less places? I've been driving her just a little, driving her a little crazy. And so I've been thinking about doing this. Wait a minute. How do I get rid of this? Where'd it go? There it is. And so I've had a lot of things swimming around in my mind. I like the idea of having, like, I have it set up here where I have the electric here and I have the internet here, so I can immediately plug it into anything. Here's another thing, and I might do this now. I know Bob's still, Bob, when I lose another 100 pounds and I'm not fat anymore, what are you going to do what are you going to do then with your stupid fat jokes? One of the things I'm really thinking about buying is, because I do want to check this out, because this might be the answer for backyard podcasting. I never thought about this before, but the microphone that Jody has is a pod mic. All right. But they have a pod mic that is XLR and is also USB. Now, if you just have the pod mic, which is, I think it's $250 for the pod mic, you can plug that into your computer and you can download software from Rode. It's free. It's on your computer. It is a Rodecaster Pro. It is a Rodecaster. So it's like buying a Rodecaster Pro for $250. I think I got to test it. So after Christmas, when I can get some scratch together, I want to buy that and just bring it over here, plug it into my Mac Air, get rid of everything, the Rodecaster Pro, get all that, just cut that out of the system. Use this little, just use this here, this mic stand, and try it, see what happens, and play with it. See, I kind of do like that. I like the troubleshooting part of podcasting. Sometimes I like the troubleshooting part of podcasting more than I like podcasting. I like the producing part of podcasting. Like, I would love to be able to, like, play with this stuff, and then maybe put some videos up on YouTube on the Backyard Podcasting channel. You know what I'm doing? Maybe a little bit. I've put some produced videos. All right, Jody. So here, you want to hear something funny? All right. So this camera here is it is a Logitech 920 that I bought in 2012. I bought this in 2012, and it's the best camera I own. Matter of fact, Duchess has the same camera, but she's got the newer version of it. And is one of the best ones. You can get these other ones that are like, I forget how much they are, $500, $600. This is just a webcam that you pay, I think it's $64 right now. It was on sale. I think it had a Black Friday sale, and it was like $35. So it was, and it's nice, and I can move, and then it has software where you can move it in and take care of stuff, and as far as color balance and all that. And then I have a what's it called? I have like just a light that I have over top of here. That's, so that I have the lighting better here. So anyhow, do I want to be the producer for the shitty song of the week show? I don't know. I might dabble, be in the background. and play with stuff. And then here's the other thing. I don't know if this will work or not, but if I become somebody that's known for a lot of times these companies like Rode and other places will send you shit and say, try this out and tell us what you think of it. Work the bugs out of this and see what you think of it. So, that wouldn't be bad. So anyhow, that's what I was thinking. So I woke up this morning, listened to Dave Jackson, and then went on a tear all day, messing around and playing with stuff and writing shit down and trying to figure out what I do. So right now, I have a $50 mic plugged into the Rodecaster Pro 2, my second one, that's recording, and that I'm running that off of a MacBook Air, like a newer one. And I have one light. I might have to have another camera set up behind me. I could use my iPhone as a camera and have it set up behind me so everybody could see the setup that I have here. But like any kind of workshop, things are messy. It's the cables are kind of all over the place. And, that. Although I do like this, I kind of like this background. I like this background a little bit better from the other side. Although I'm looking over here on the one side over here, and there's a Clorox disinfectant wipes because I dusted down here this morning, cleaned up everything. So I forgot that. Forgot to put that away. But behind me, I could light that up back there. Hang on a second. Will this work? All right. See if this will work. No, that is hard. No. Wow, that was harsh. Yeah, Duchess, when you come down in December, I got to figure out a way of putting two cameras in here now. That's the problem because you're going to be here. And, so I got to try to figure out how to set up two cameras on this system. Yeah, because when I bring you in with a computer, how do I do that? I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. It's not easy to bring somebody, or you can come here and we don't use video and we just, let me see if I can do this. Let me see if this will work. Uh-oh, my light just went out. What the hell happened there? Why'd that light go out? It must have been on a timer. Anyhow, so let's see, what can I do? Can I do that here? All right, what if I do this? There you go. And then you can still hear me, and we could put like a whatever, and I can still see the chat. I can still bring the chat up. Why, Duchess? Again, you don't want to do this, but how am I supposed to get two cameras hooked up? It looks like a murder scene. I could change it. I could make something different. But it just, I can put, let's see. Can I put text up here? Yeah, I can. I don't know which one it is, but anyhow, I could put text up here and make a background so we don't have to have cameras, but they could hear us. Can you open an old laptop and use that camera? Yes, we can, but the problem is Duchess is like a half a second off or a quarter second off, and it's weird. It's weird the way it is. Hold on, let me turn my camera back on again. There we go. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to be able to have a camera switcher, but I think, what was the camera switcher? It was like $900. And I'm like, no. Now, could I use another camera here with another, I don't know. Let me look into it. But I don't know if I'll be able to have that ready for December. I don't think the only other thing I could do is just put a camera sideways where it sees both of us at the same time. Or we can do the stupid thing like Steel Toe Morning Show does, where he has the camera in front of us and we're both on the same side of the camera, sitting next to each other like two nitwits. I don't like that. I don't like that idea either. I could ask Dave. The problem with Dave is that he does what I do. He's at home and he brings guests in that, he brings guests in from the internet. He doesn't have people in his house. Like he doesn't have a podcast studio in his house where he has other people in the house. So, yeah, I get it. Yeah, $900 it's a little insane. A lot. It is a lot. Oh boy, I tell you what, I would love to buy. I would love to buy an RV and equip it for podcasting and take it places. That would be cool. If I ever hit the lottery, I'd make a mobile studio. Yeah, and travel to like I could travel to Arkansas and hang out with Jody, and then go up into Missouri and hang out with Mike. Go to Alabama, and then go to a secret location where Bob can come, and we don't tell Tom where it's at. Jermaine goes last ride. It's not a bad idea. But it would be cool to have like a podcasting studio where you could just go in and go places and do it. I always said that if I ever hit the lottery, that I would go find probably what I would do is I would go find a racing thing and make a racing podcast where I would go and then interview drivers and stuff like that and then put a show out. But I don't know, like I would love to follow the NHRA drag racing circuit for a year and just go to every place and do a show beforehand and talk to the drivers and then do a show right afterwards and put that out. That would be cool. I would like to be able to do that. Call it John is a racist. John's a racist. Oh, I see. Race. Yeah, no. That's not a good idea. I don't think I'll get too much SEO, search engine optimization, with John's a racist. Dean says, if I hit the lotto, I'll do 2 chicks at once. You know something, Dean? I bet you in Michigan, it doesn't cost that much for 2 chicks at the same time. I think you could make that happen. Just go in the back of the internet somewhere. I'm sure there's a place you can find. You can get a couple chicks at the same time. I don't think you have to have that much money to have 2 chicks at the same time. I don't know, maybe. I mean, if you're going to go, whatever. I'm going to get into all that. So, what do you mean? You want to stay home? You don't want to cause podcasting issues? It's not that you're going to cause podcasting issues. It's just I got to figure it out. Like, I'm going to need 2 different cameras. I'll drop the monitor down so I can see you because you're like real short. Can't see you. I'd have to put you on a pedestal. I'd have to put you like on blocks where you're up about 2 feet so I could see you over the monitor. Well, it is kind of true. You are kind of short. I mean, I'm telling tales out of school. But I don't know. There's, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that it would be fun to do here and try, and we'll see what happens. But like right now, my mind will be spinning. Like, how do I get 2 cameras working? And I might try it. Oh, you know what I could do? I could use I know exactly what I could do. I could use an iPhone and use the iPhone camera for Duchess's camera. And that would come in, but then we'd have to use Ecamm Live. I don't know if StreamYard has a spot where you can bring in your phone camera, but I know it does work here. No, it's the thing is how to hook it into the system so it works. Like if you plug in 2 cameras, the 2 cameras fight each other, and you have to buy. There's a thing that you can buy right now. I'll have to look into it, where you take a camera and it turns it into an input, which you can then use. But when I used the laptop last time, Duchess was a little off. And then the other thing is, too, if we use StreamYard, I like it where if she... Okay. So here's the deal. The thing with Duchess is that the last time we did the Boomer Bunker, I turned off the chat. I couldn't even see it, which helped me so much because I didn't have to worry about the chat. I couldn't see it. It couldn't distract me, and I could do a little bit better producing. Duchess was in charge of the chat, which was great. I thought that really worked well. And in this way, if she's not bringing up the chat enough, then the people can yell at her, not me. But I like that idea. So I could bring another I could have another laptop here where we sign in this StreamYard and then she can see the chat and bring it up. Okay. All right. I'm working on it. Video. You could send a link to the phone. Yes. Damn it. My damn mouse just up there it is. Every once in a while, this mouse I think I need new batteries in this mouse. But, yeah, see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I love about the backyard podcasting thing is like, okay, Duchess is going to come here. We need 2 cameras. We need a way for Duchess to see what's going on the screen and for her to handle the chat. But what's nice about this is the audio will go into the Rodecaster Pro, and I don't have to worry about ducking, and I don't have to worry about an echo or anything like that. So that would be nice. To be honest with you, if she didn't live in so damn far away, I'd have her come down here all the time, but that's too far of a ride. That's probably an hour and 15 minutes down, an hour and 15 minutes back twice a week. That's not it. That's nowhere, man. But yeah, because podcasting, there's different things you can do. You can bring people in. Backyard podcasting, I'm going to be interviewing different podcasters. So I can bring them in, do the interview, then take the interview, edit it the way I want to, put something on the front end, something on the back end, and then put that show out. And then the Boomer Bunker is a live is a show that we do in front of people. It's live. We bring the people that come watch the show. They become part of the audience. I mean, they become part of the show. And, that's a different aspect of podcasting. And then Brand X is where we just come in, drink, eat, and tell stories. So it's like a third type of podcast. And then I floated it out there to Jody and to Edward that once a month and Bob, I haven't talked to Bob about this yet, but anybody that was in the Rubberneckers universe, we should do one podcast a month for Rubberneckers, just once a month, and then see what happens. All right, what's Bob got to say? You could call your old job and see if they have an old elevator car walls that can make an elevator pod. I could do that. I could do that real easy. Like, I'm sure if I talk to some people, I'm sure I could get an old podcasting set of buttons that they have from behind. But I don't know. It's not really part of the brand, is it? It doesn't have anything to do with the podcasting. It's not like I'm doing an elevator podcast. And if I was doing an elevator podcast, I certainly wouldn't live stream it. It's not one of your best ideas, Bob, but I get it. I like it. You're trying. Yeah. So, and I'm not going to lie. I still in my heart of hearts love Ecamm Live. I like this so much better than I like StreamYard. Although, when we did the show with StreamYard, there was a couple things that I really did like about that didn't happen before. Like, I could remove the video from the scene, all right? And then when I went back there again, it stayed right at that spot. So I could, if we went to talk about it, I could remove it from the screen. Then you've got, Edward and I, or Duchess and I, we talk about it. And if I want to play it again, I hit it, it goes right back to the spot and brings it right back up at the same spot. So that was kind of cool. Not going to lie about that. That was kind of cool. All right, here we go. Let's see what he says. Like Jody B as a guest. He's a third level podcaster. Your pod from the third floor. Okay. Devin is in the basement level. No, I would imagine Devin would be on the roof, right? Wouldn't Devin be on the roof? I don't think he's in the basement. He's in the penthouse, hopefully. Hopefully he's in the penthouse. If we go anywhere, who knows? When I understand, when we die, we go to another dimension. It starts all over again. I'm okay with that, to be honest with you. But hopefully some of your consciousness goes with you so that you don't make the same mistakes. Like when you see somebody that's a kid and they're like an old soul and they seem to have a lot on the ball as a young kid. And I think they've been through several lives. I think they came back like several times, and in the back of their subconsciousness, there's like a chip in there that says, "Okay, but back in the day, you did this before. It was a fucking stupid idea. Don't do this again." And I just think it's more of maturity. Me, this might be my first go around because I do a lot of stupid shit, and I'm very immature, even for my age. So I don't know. Maybe when I come back, it'll be a little easier, and maybe it'll be, I won't make as many mistakes. Who knows? But, well, we'll see. Yeah, that was crazy. Like the kid who drew the cockpit of a World War II fighter plane said he was a fighter pilot in World War II and he was shot down, and said where he was shot down, said the name of what his name was, and they looked it up, and the guy was a World War II pilot. This kid was like 5 years old. And there was another little girl who was watching. They were playing a show where it was not the Twin Towers on fire, and the girl said, "Oh, I was there, and the floor got real hot, and we jumped out the window." And I was like, "Holy shit!" And yeah, and she says she remembers that. So I don't know. There's certain people that seem like that happens with. I'm not 100% sure if that's true or not, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, she said she worked there. I forget what floor it was, and that the floor got real hot, and it was real smoky, and it had to jump out the windows. That and could you imagine your daughter saying that like your 4-year-old daughter saying that to you? You're like, what the hell is going on here? That's insane. But yeah, there was the other thing I was going to say. Oh, like for the backdrop here, I think I could get my daughter to help me with the lighting. My daughter, she's into photography, lighting and shit like that. So I could ask her to come over here and help me backlight this so it doesn't look so bad. But it's interesting. I mean, like I said, for me, I love doing this stuff. And it gives me, it's better than sitting around watching TV all day. Like someone will say to me, "Did you watch this or did you watch that?" Nope. I don't really watch TV. I watch a couple shows. I love that show, Landman. That show's amazing. And I'm waiting for I think it's is this episode tonight? Tomorrow night, the last episode of Yellowstone? Or is it there's only 2 more, one or the other, I don't know. What'd Dean say? I want to jump out a window when Edward's on the show Thursday. All right, so let's talk about Edward. Okay. Here's the thing with Edward. I don't think he likes to do live. Because I think, and it's smart, that if he does something on a live that's out there, he's just graduated college. He's looking to get his first big boy job. And then he's on a podcast with some dopey guy like me. And then I say something and I get him all jammed up. Like Shane Gillis got jammed up for Saturday Night Live. Because you know how these internet Karens, these bitches, they go in there and as soon as they find somebody, they go digging in there and try to find something. Like I played the thing on Thursday where the woman's like, "Oh, you come in and said, wasting my time." She went all the way back and found out that this guy had he was married and he had a dating profile on a dating site. And the bitch turned him in. So, Duchess says, "Yeah, just women." Yeah, a lot of it. Women. Yeah. You know what, guys? Well, I shouldn't say that. There are some guys out there that act like women. Do women type shit. As far as I'm concerned, it's a bitch move to go back behind, dig into somebody's internet and then tell on them. "Ooh, oh, I'm telling you said the F slur for gay people, or you said the N word, but you put the GG between the I and the E. Yeah, you can't do that. I found out you did that. Ooh, I'm going to ruin you." So, but I don't think Edward likes going live. and it was tight. It was like really, really tight. I tried to loosen them up. And, again, I like Edward and I didn't want to make him mad, but I had this thing in the back of my mind that every time he tightened up or started to do something silly, I was going to start asking him about his ex-girlfriend, Arsway, Elena. I was going to start asking him questions about her. What do you think? On a scale of 1 to 10, how hot did you think if you could put her on a scale of 10, where would you put her? And then, I hear she gives good oral. Is she a raker? What would you give her between 5 and 10? What would you give her? And, but it didn't work out that way. And it just seemed like everything was a push-pull. It was almost like podcasting with Bob again, that kind of thing. It just didn't have the flow that we needed. And just sometimes it just doesn't work out. Sometimes you can work with people and it's just a natural fit and a natural flow. And then other times you work with people and it's not there. It's really rough. I mean, it's like a raker in the oral sex situation. Yeah, this is it. This is true. Bob, I'm better in the chat. That's true. You're making a great argument for Rubberneckers podcast. Okay, well, here's the Rubberneckers podcast thing. If we did it, would we do it live? I'm not sure we would do it live because I have a feeling if we don't do it live, I think we'll get a more coherent Edward. Like, in other words, I think he'll go with the flow more. Although I did listen to his show Friday. His show Friday, he did right before he came on with me, and he was there with his, I guess it was his co-host. And even that was a little tighter. I swear to God, both of them sounded like they were stoned, and all they did was laugh. I mean, Raven, that's it, Raven. I said to Edward, I want to come on. Am I canceled as a guest? And I want Raven there. Oh, I want Raven there for sure. I think that would be a lot of fun. We'll see. But the issue with that is that if we say anything that's crazy, it can be edited out. So you say you like Raven. Why do you say you like her? I didn't think, well, first of all, I can't believe we're going to talk about Edward out of school. First of all, the thing with Edward was he's got a new room and it needs to be sound treated. Like he's got to take some blankets and throw it over some shit, or it sounds like he's got like wooden, solid wood floors. There's no carpeting down or anything like that. There was a lot of echo, a lot of reverb in the room. So, and then I don't think they had two mics set up. I think they were using the same mic because both of them sounded like they were off mic. I don't know. I didn't ask them yet. So, but it's like I said, it's a new room. Like right now, this is a new room and my light went out. What are you going to do? He'll get it straightened out. That's one thing about Edward. He'll get it straightened out. He's a smart guy, smart, talented guy. So, he'll get his shit straightened out. But he yells. Everybody yells. Edward yells. Edward, like when he was on the show Thursday, he was attacking the chat. I don't mind that. But, the yelling, it's passionate. I yell. When I yell, everybody seems to like me yelling. What's the difference between me yelling and Edward yelling? Everybody seems to like it when I yell or get upset. I don't understand why Edward can't yell. I don't get it. I don't know. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody coming on here and hanging out with me. That was a lot of fun. When I get done here. Oh, okay. Bob says old people are funny when they yell. Yeah, it's true. Old people are funny when they yell. So younger people are yelling. That's not funny. I don't know. I didn't think it was too bad. There's a lot of, first of all, I do not like cringe humor. Like anything cringy, I hate. I can't listen to it. Like I get embarrassed for them. I'm like, I can't. I don't like it. So even I tried to listen back to the show that we did Thursday. I couldn't. And then here's the other thing. the audio because Duchess wasn't there to tell me to press record. I forgot to press record, and I had to use the StreamYard audio, but I could only use the regular track, like the all-in-one track, and it didn't sound good. So what are you going to do? And we already lost one episode because the audio was horrible. So I figured, let me put this one out, see what happens. Sometimes it seems Ed yells just to be yelling. I don't know if that's true. Stop apologizing, Duchess. Everybody does stuff that happens. Like I said, I mean, I've recorded over 1,000 episodes in the past 12 years, and I make mistakes. I made mistakes with Edward. Everybody makes mistakes. Not a big deal. It's just a podcast. Like, it's not going out. No one's paying for it. It's not a big deal. Shit like this happens. Bob's going to break out the Infinity game board and play some games with Crystal. Okay. Look at you. All right, everybody. Well, thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I think I've done an hour here, and the only thing that really was bad with the studio right now is my light went out. I'm not 100% sure why it went out, but it went out. So I will catch up with you. Thanks for hanging out with you Saturday night. Have yourself a good weekend. Monday at 6:30, the Boomer Bunker will be at all the normal places that we're at. And the Duchess will be back. And I won't have to have another co-host. All right, everybody. Have yourself a good night.